So just before you watch this video, I do apologize for any audio problems that you can hear in the background. You can hear my PC running. Hopefully you still can't hear it. I have tried to change it as best as I can. And this is why I want to create my own unique setup. Right now I've just got the camera here just recording. PC is loud. This is why I'm trying to get a new PC, but there's GPU and CPU shortages. I'm going forever. I'm not going to. All I want to say is I want to build a PC. I want to build a setup for myself where I can record with no background noise, with the best quality possible, the camera properly set up, tripod properly set up, lighting. But I'm going to get around to doing it, so just bear with me for now. For now, it's just about getting the content out. So make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, because I do want other football fans' opinions, so they can help me and guide my opinions on certain subjects to do with other clubs that maybe I don't watch as much. So make sure you do hit the subscribe button and do enjoy the rest of the video. So yo, and welcome to AnythingEverything Bish 2, and this is the second channel where I'm going to be mostly talking about football and mixed martial arts. And I know there has been a few UFC events that I do maybe want to cover in the future, but right now it's all about football because it's all been kicking off. Today's video, as you see by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about Man City versus Liverpool, mostly Man City and what that means for them, and then what it means for Liverpool. And just to talk about this channel and what you will come to expect, as I've already explained this about football, mixed martial arts, and just me talking to the camera and getting my opinions across. Like I said, mostly MMA and football. Maybe in the future I will be making another channel where I talk about other things other than mixed martial arts and football. But for now, this is the channel, and I want to start getting some videos out and some content. Now, a lot of it will be me talking into the camera, explaining my opinions, looking at some stats, looking at some things that happened, basically, and putting things together and forming an opinion. I'm hoping to release a couple of videos a day eventually. Right now that isn't it. It'll probably be one video a day. That's what I'm going for right now, but in the future I will be trying to release 2 to 3 videos a day, maybe 5 days a week or something like that, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to football and a lot of stuff when it comes to talk about mixed martial arts. Now I do need a drink of water and I haven't got one, and it's all the way I have to go fill my water bottle up, and yeah, I can't bother to do that, so we're going to be talking without it. So if I do sound a little bit dry, that is because I am thirsty. The only thing preventing me right now from making the content that I want and live streaming is the CPU and GPU shortages, but I won't go on to that because this is a football video and yeah, I'm going to bore a lot of people. But ultimately, when the CPU and GPU stuff come, that's when I'm going to start live streaming, making lots more videos. It was the blockbuster game of the season, Manchester City, Liverpool. Will Liverpool be able to stop Man City's run? Will Liverpool be able to drag Man City back into the pile? Or will Man City win and cement their role as leaders of this season? And ultimately, it is their season to lose now. Now, Liverpool did invest in a little bit of their squad, but they didn't do it heavily. They obviously this season brought in Thiago, they brought in the Greek left back, and they brought in Diego Jota. Last season, they brought in Minamino, and obviously they've added to that squad throughout the years with like Shaqiri and little signings here and there, but they didn't do the big ones. They didn't do the ones that are going to help them bolster their squad in times of injury crisis, and they are going through an injury crisis, but a lot of teams have gone through that, and I do feel for Liverpool. They have had 2 amazing seasons, where they really pushed Man City, and obviously they won the league last year where they kind of wiped Man City out. This season, Man City's came back, and I did predict at the start of the season, will Pep be able to fire back, and I said they would. They've obviously made some investment. They've brought in a centre-back, which has made City crazy good at defending. Like, this Pep, I feel like, if you can see on screen, I'll go on. This is Man City since they beat Chelsea 3-1. We've had 10 wins since then, 0 draws, 0 losses. They've got 27 goals scored, 2 goals conceded, 8 clean sheets in 10 games. And if you look, they might be missing Aguero, they might be missing Kevin De Bruyne, but look at their notable goal scorers. These are people who've scored multiple goals in the last few games. Gundogan, Sterling, Foden, Jesus, Silva, Stones. We've got 3+ goals from all of those players within the last 10 games. And it shows Man City's got goal scorers all around the pitch, which is crucially important. And not only that, I feel like with this Man City squad, they take less risks. They're a little bit more passive. And they are defending a lot better with John Stones and Ruben Diaz at the back. And they've got a stacked defence. Cancelo, Kyle Walker, Zinchenko, Mendy, Laporte, Stones, Ruben Diaz. You know, you can name a bunch of them. And that's something that they lacked last season. When Laporte got injured, things went catastrophic for Man City and they fell off hugely. This season, things have changed. They're defensively secure. And I do want to say, I feel like if there was a team that pushed Man City at the beginning, this was the season to kind of run City off the grid. Because let's not lie, this Man City team is looking great. But I think we're definitely overestimating it. Because I feel like at the start of the season, they were vulnerable. There was chinks in their armour, and you could see it. They had some Really, really, really dodgy results. They lost 5-2 to Leicester. They drew 1-1 to West Brom. I think they drew 1-1 to Leeds. There were a lot of results where you're like, whoa, hold up, what's going on here? Man City might not be this dominant force that we thought they were going to. Are they still looking as weak as they did last season, where they kind of lumbered about after obviously Liverpool smoked them out of the water? But credit to Pep, he's got his team playing again. They're massive investors, obviously, over the last couple of years, and their squad is there to be proven. You have Aguero out, you have De Bruyne out, it don't matter. You've still got quality across the board. And they haven't just got quality, they've got proven winners. And plus that with quality is game over, basically. We're talking about Pep Guardiola, one of the best managers to ever manage, with an abundance of resources at Manchester City. And we're not just talking about finances and transfers, we're talking about infrastructure, scouting networks, staff, and you combine that and you're playing them against managers that are kind of learning on the job, inexperienced and not proven winners who can go and push them with less resources. Pep's always going to win the league. You know, I credit the Klopp for what he did. Liverpool kind of built up this project, and I think that's where everyone got it from, but I'll talk about that in another video about these projects that's been going on. But Klopp ultimately was the one that originated it, and you could argue Pep, these projects. But I will talk about that in this modern day football at least. They've got to play some tough games coming up, and if they can drop points, which they can, because we've seen at the start of the season they are capable of dropping points. Whether this big mentality switch or tactical switch makes Man City kind of go on to win the league with ease remains to be seen. But if some of these teams can take some points off Man City, maybe some teams can get drawn back into that title race. I doubt it, because I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch Man City, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to keep the pressure on Man City.